It's a moment of reckoning, a call to renewal and hope for the people of Ghana. Patriots of our great elephant family, distinguished delegates, and fellow countrymen. For me, this is a very solemn moment, a defining moment in the history of our great party, the New Patriotic Party, and indeed in the history of our beloved country, Ghana. We stand at crossroads, undoubtedly. The soul of our party cries out for rescue. The spirit of our nation tests for renewal and transformation to usher in a leadership with a clear vision and a plan that inspires Ghanaians. We need to inspire hope in the youth and a plan that rekindles the faith of Ghanaians in our constitutional democracy. When our forebears of our great party, the NPP, chose the motto, development in freedom, they inspired generations of decent, law-abiding Ghanaians to join a party that stood for merit, honesty, and service. Today, regrettably, that proud tradition is under serious strain. There is growing disillusionment. Many faithful patriots have abandoned our fold in anger, and some chose not to vote at all in the last election. Leading members have walked away with their supporters, while some have quietly resigned in their hearts. There is a heartfelt cry from the grassroots of our great party for us to return to our roots, roots where politics was a noble calling, not a marketplace to trade parochial interests, not a place where votes are for the highest bidder to buy, even with foul means. Our tradition was never about money. It was founded on sound values, virtues, and a spirit of volunteerism. Unfortunately, in recent years, we have seen an erosion of what this tradition stood for. We are not where we would like to be, so the path ahead for us is to go out there and choose leaders who have integrity, who have character, empathy, emotional intelligence, worthy of leading. And above all, we need leaders with a new, compelling vision for Ghana's sustained development. The NPP of today is totally unrecognizable from the movement we fashioned out of adversity in 1992. Yes, we must acknowledge the pain we have inflicted on our party faithful and Ghanaians in general, and learn some useful lessons. But we should not be imprisoned by this. What we face now is never about setting dates for presidential primaries or tinkering even with the electoral college. No. Today is about renewing and reviving the soul of our NPP. Our country too is hurting. After nearly 7 decades of existence, public office, which was once a noble calling, has now become a mine to loot the public treasury. Our governance architecture has become a systemic failure, epitomized by a catastrophic healthcare system and much more. This past month, the nation tragically lost two sons, one an emergency physician and the other a lawmaker. They were lost not because of the complexities of their ailments, but rather due to the locational disparities in healthcare access in Ghana. Prudent action is urgently needed to prioritize the many ongoing health projects in our country, and deploy existing health resources more efficiently, effectively, and intelligently. I also identify with the calls for mandatory basic life support training for all of us. as well as the procurement of automated external defibrillators that ordinary citizens can be trained to use and to save lives when need be. The youth, who make up close to 60% of Ghana's population, continue to suffer an unemployment rate of around 19%. And even among the working, 6 out of 10 earn wages that keep them trapped in poverty. A generation that should be dreaming big now survives on quick loans, crippling private loans with unsustainable interest rates. The educated young elite, the very class that once saw us, the NPP, as its natural home, have abandoned us because we, the party of progress, the party that lifted Ghana to middle income status, have drifted dangerously from our values. Fellow patriots, we must confront the truth. Our party is in dire straits. Many in our ranks stand disillusioned, disunited, dispirited, and demoralized. But this is not a time for despair. It's a time for honest reflection and decisive action. This is the moment of leadership. And let me appeal to you directly, my brothers and sisters who form the Electoral College. You, delegates, you carry the sacred responsibility of choosing our next leader of our tradition. Remember, the decision you make will echo far beyond this election. It will decide whether our party rises again or sinks further. Let me speak to the danger of selling one's future for momentary monetary comfort, even from the very hands that have caused us our misery. Patriots, I implore you to resist the temptation to sometimes yield to monetization of elections. This cannot continue. We must break this cycle of manipulation. Delegates, vote for values, vote for principles, vote for a leader who has proven over decades that others matter more, and that leaders must work in service of the people they want to lead. Ghana deserves better. It's unacceptable that after 68 years of independence, our GDP per capita still struggles around $2,300. When countries like Singapore, Malaysia, South Korea, our peers at independence, have moved far ahead. Let's hold our leaders accountable. We have to question political leaders who have amassed wealth for themselves and their families, while the masses continue to struggle to meet their basic needs. We must support lawful prosecution of the elite who have plundered the public treasury, and this should not serve partisanship. Today, as we unveil this office to house my campaign headquarters, we begin a crucial journey, a redemption mission, to restore our cherished values of service, sacrifice, and selflessness back into our body politic. I call this the Triple S doctrine of leadership. I, Engineer Kwabena Agyapong, present myself to you as the most vital candidate, offering a new dawn, a new dimension, and a new direction. Yes, indeed, I come to you with a clear message. It is time for us to usher in a new dawn, a drastic departure from the status quo that has been associated with our party in recent times. A new dawn, NPP rediscovers its soul, where the culture of hard work, meritocracy, integrity, and professionalism is restored to our ranks and in the larger society, where decency, civility, and ethics define who we are. A new dawn where Ghana builds a fair economy that works for everyone, a salary regime that rewards productivity and restores faith in public service, where we unlock the full value of agriculture, creating wealth along the value chain from the farm through our factories to our markets, where the youth are inspired, rejuvenated, not with slogans, but with real opportunities in education, sports, tourism, and entrepreneurship. As a civil engineer, I will lead the regeneration of our urban environment and the renewal of our rural areas to improve livelihoods as we work towards the attainment of our SDGs. This is not a dream, and by the grace of God, I have the courage, the competence, the compassion, and the moral fortitude to lead this renewal. All my life, through thick and thin, through some of the very painful moments that have redefined the very framework of our democratic journey, I've lived for three things: to understand people, to love people, and to genuinely help people. Yes, indeed, life has taught me to feel the pain of others and to express real empathy to all manner of people, close and afar. Destiny forced me early in my life into this life of responsibility. I was just a young man of 20 years when I lost my dad, the late Justice Kwabena Agyapong, High Court judge and defender of rule of law, kidnapped and brutally murdered with three others in the infamous 30th June 1982 abductions. That dark chapter in Ghana's history that gave us the martyrs of the rule of law. This tragedy could have broken me forever, but I chose to endure. I chose to live in a way that will honor my father's legacy of dignified service, justice, and fairness. My long-standing dedicated service to this party is a matter of public record. I have dutifully served all our flag bearers since the onset of the Fourth Republic. As a young activist, presenting the NPP's party political broadcast on GTV in 1992 during the Adubuahin campaign. As Secretary to President Kufuor, as General Secretary of the party after my overwhelming victory at the Tamale Congress in 2014. And even after my suspension under bizarre circumstances, I returned to help President Akufo-Addo when he beckoned to help win his re-election in 2020. And in 2023, after contesting the presidential primary, I wholeheartedly supported the eventual winner, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. I've always remained loyal to the elephant, because for me, politics is not about self, it's about collective welfare. I say this to the glory of God. I say this to the glory of God. It's been I say this to the glory of God. It's been some 30 years of serving this party. I'm very glad to proclaim that I have an unblemished record. I have good relations with every leader of this party you can think of. I'm the bridge between our founding fathers and the future of our party. I have the institutional memory of the NPP because I've been tutored by its giants and grassroots, from B.J. Darocha, J. Kufuor, Nana Akufo-Addo, Apia Minka, Jemfi Bikai, Dr. Safu Edu, J.H. Mensah, Araram Ponsa, Adubuahin, Amesimeku, A.K. Deku, The list is too long, and my big brother, Alan Shermatin, and many others. I mention Alan because I believe he must return home as we rebuild. I learned from them that leadership is not about entitlement. It's about sacrifice. It's about character. It's about loving and helping people. Patriots, this is our moment of truth. You, the delegates, you hold the power to decide whether the NPP rises again as a beacon of hope for Ghana or sinks further into disunity and despair. You have that golden opportunity, delegates, to set aside the growing enmity and adversarial rhetoric which has become a recent feature of our internal politics. You can denounce intellect for all you want, but it won't change the fact that intellect is the ingredient that drives development. I want to be brutally honest, very frank. If we treat ourselves as adversaries, how can we earn the trust of Ghanaians? Politics belongs to the ordinary people, not to the squabbles of the contented partisan elites. And I want to repeat here, politics belongs to the grassroots, belongs to the ordinary people, not to the petty squabbles of contented partisan elites. Let's not weigh down this party any further. And this is a very important paragraph. Delegates, let's not weigh down this party any further with a choice that will eventually call for unending efforts of reconciliation, reparations from hate speeches, and all manner of vile deeds. With me, KAA, the NPP has a clear path to unity and victory. We cannot continue to do the same things and expect different results. We need a pair of clean hands, a clear mind, a compassionate heart to lead our nation and our party. I, Kwabena Agyapong, stand ready to work with you, ready to unite our ranks, ready to rebuild, ready to restore hope for our party and every Ghanaian. So let's rise together. Let's return to our roots. Yes, the NPP must of necessity return to our noble roots. Let's make the NPP once again the proud tradition that inspires decent people to join politics under the banner of development and freedom. The time for renewal is now. The time for hope is now. The time for KAA is now. Ghana has to be engineered into prosperity. Ghana has to be engineered into prosperity. I can't leave this without mentioning my good friend, Charles Kojofosu, Daddy Lumba. And I remember Kwame Sifakai constantly on Friday mornings playing the famous Ankwanema tune because the lyrics meant so much to me about sacrifice. And in fact, he's somebody who I was very close to, saw him not too long ago. Although he'd been unwell, I've been very touched by his passing. May the Almighty God grant his beautiful soul peaceful, eternal rest, and to his family, the fortitude, the endurance to endure this difficult time. God bless you all. God bless the NPP. And may God bless our homeland, Ghana. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you. Thank you, Tim. You can see I'm here with the unfortunately, some of us, Junior was greater. FIFA is now the regional secretary in Western region. And Mrs. Amapune became the ambassador to Canada. When This was a surprise birthday party.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click on the bell for more updates.